Mr. Boris Becker! Yeah! It's a pleasure and a great honor to have you here, Boris.
Thank you very much for having me in this very unusual setting.
I can understand.
Yes.
Did they tell you anything about this show?
Well, they warned me. It's a bit crazy, and I don't know how crazy it's going to be, but let's see. Yeah.
Did they tell you anything about the cuckoo?
Yeah, they told me about the cuckoo. It's a big tradition here. Yeah. I have to...
Yeah, because you're going to be a member of the gang, of this gang. Okay. If you look into the hole, and then we all start applauding. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 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 yeah! Yeah. So now you're part of the gang, Boris.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're here for the book.
That's
We're
right.
going to talk about the book.
Please.
But auf Deutsch or in English?
As you want. I can speak in German, I can speak in English.
Yeah?
Dutch is not so good.
Okay, Dutch not that good.
Yeah.
Because when we do it in English and you're German, there can be a problem if you look at these things.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät und das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday, mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
My English is slightly better than the Deutsche Küstenwacht.
So we do it in English then.
Please, yes.
I will introduce you to the guys over here. This is Raymond. He is an expert on the United States.
Yes.
US politics. And you're a legend. By the way, Thomas, how is it sitting next to a legend?
It's great. Yeah, I'm used to Arjan Boekenstein, and you're very much better.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Thomas used to play tennis as well, but that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he didn't play on grass, eh? Only on
mud.
only in the playground.
So you're a legend, but this is a legend as well. This is Johan Derksen. He played in Germany, SV Meppen.
SV Meppen,
yes.
Jeder kennt der Verein.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
That's a long time ago. Did you see him play? Or?
I don't remember anymore, but I'm sure you were very good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And this is René van der Gijp. He's a former Dutch international. He played 15 caps for the Dutch national team.
Okay.
And he also played with Ruud Gullit. You know Ruud, eh?
I love Ruud. He's a good friend of mine. Yes, wonderful guy.
He's a great guy. He's a friend of René as well.
And you actually played with Ruud?
Yeah.
Which position did you
PSV
play?
Eindhoven.
And which position?
I played right winger. He's playing
great.
Centre forward.
Amazing.
And he was really looking forward that you would come to our show.
Yeah.
Can you explain us why? You can't
No, yeah, but I grew up with him. I am 64. You are?
52.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So when you were playing Wimbledon, I was 23, and I look every game from him, and also games in Australia or New York. So I grew up also with McEnroe, also with Agassi, and the players now, you have not much.
No. Djokovic, Federer.
No.
Not that much.
No,
They're not really legends for you. Huh? They're not really legends to you. He's really a legend to you.
But they are boring today.
Huh?
Boring.
Yeah.
You agree with that, Boris? Or?
No, I think the players are different than we were. It was a different time, different personalities. Back in the day, we didn't have social media. There were no microphones, so we could be more human. Or directly or honest.
Yeah.
Nowadays they have to put their poker face on the court, and you don't see the personality. So our generation agrees with you, but nowadays the stars are Sin and Alcaraz. They're fantastic players, but they're molded in today's generation. And I've heard normally Wednesdays is off, right?
Yeah.
And you made an exception because we wanted to meet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Normally it's free because he has to work 5 days a week. That's really tough for him. So normally he's working 4 days, and on the Wednesday he's going out with his wife, and then he's going to eat and to drink.
To drink.
It are long days, 1 hour work.
Yeah.
But then also we had color coordinated.
The same place. Yeah. So you saw Ruud already. He wanted to say something to you.
Okay.
Hello, Boris. How you doing, my friend? Yes, we know each other already for a long, long time. Since the Lotto commercial we did. I think it was in the 80s or something, in the 90s, I don't know. And then we always kept contact with each other. We shared some holidays with each other. We had even a poker day. Done it also. I'm not a good poker player, but nevertheless, I was there. I love you. You had some very, very difficult times in your life, but you came out very strongly. That is the top sporter in you. Last time I was also at your wedding, and I can see that you're very, very happy. That's the most important thing. I saw a smile on your face that I haven't seen for a long, long time. I wish you all the luck and all the success with your book. Mein Freund. Good luck. Enjoy it in Amsterdam. Unfortunately, I'm not here. I have to travel myself. But have a good time in Amsterdam.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's a great guy, Ruud, eh?
No, lovely guy. He's real. He's a real mensch. He's authentic. He's like this all the time. He doesn't put on a front or for the camera. He's like this in the morning or in the evening.
Yeah, he's always happy.
Yeah, he's always positive, the energy. You know, he's also someone, and nowadays I find a lot of people criticize each other for no reason. He would never do that.
No.
He sees the glass always half full, never half empty.
Yeah.
He talked about your marriage. You also dedicated this book to your mother and to your wife, Lillian.
Yes.
She's here, by the way.
That's right, yeah.
She was over here. How important is she to you then?
Well, quite frankly, without my wife, I don't think I'd be sitting like this here. She got into my life when I was in dire straits, the worst time of my life in 2018, 2019. And then she found something in me that I didn't see in myself anymore. And one of the first questions she asked me when we had a moment, she goes, how are you, Boris? And I was never asked that question because I was supposed to be always good, smiling the front. And she looked at me, how are you? And I said, I'm really shit. I'm the worst time. I did this, A, Y, and Z. I'm not going to bore you. And then she started to be interested because I was honest. And you know, when I had to go to prison, naturally I asked her, listen, you're a much younger woman than me. You don't have to wait. I don't know how long I have to go and everything. And she looked at me almost upset about the question. I said, no, we are going to do this together. We're a team. And then somehow we're going to find the energy and the strength. And then, you know, I was 231 days inside. I got out. We spilled each other up from scratch. Well, I was serious. She was already well established. And then, cut the long story short, we got married last year in Portofino. We're expecting our first child together. So this is a real love story.
But I read in your book that you got her telephone number after 1 year, eh?
Yeah.
But in our good times, that was 3 minutes, eh?
Yeah. No, well,
but 1 year is long, eh?
No. It was a real. I wasn't used to that. That someone, you know, didn't want to give me their mobile. I said, why? Is something wrong with me? And so the challenge was there to ask her, why would you do it? And she says, I don't trust you yet. And I think she was right.
But now you can be trusted.
Well, there was no other reason for her to stick with me because very little money. I lost my freedom. Part of my personality, my character, I had to be me again with her. Yeah. And she said, I like this guy.
Because of the prison, you changed. You're not a person now, you say.
I think I'm back to the old sportsman guy. You know, when I finished my career, I was comfortable, maybe too comfortable. I was in a comfort zone, a lot of money.
Why did you look at Thomas, by the way?
Well, because I was want to include you in the conversation.
Does he feel comfortable as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a sportsman as well.
Yeah, okay.
But then I had very quickly my first divorce, cost me a lot of money, and then the hardship started a little bit. But then I had a great life still. I enjoyed the good things in life, maybe a bit too much.
Yeah.
And then one thing leads to another. And as you said, it wasn't difficult for me to meet women and so forth. And who wouldn't take up that opportunity? So all of a sudden, this very disciplined, concentrated, focused sports guy became a different person because of my comfort zone. And that lasted 10, 15, 20 years until I got really into trouble. So inside, I had no choice but to go back to the core, what made me strong in the first place. And that's why I'm back to the old tennis guy that I used to be.
Yeah, but why did you write this book, by the way?
To tell my side of the story. You know, when you have when I have a court case and then a prison sentence, for many years you can't talk about it, and everybody else does, who creates all these headlines and all this false narrative of things that are actually not true. So it was time for me to speak about what really happened, what led to my problems. Also, life lessons for some of the younger players that think they know everything at 30, 35. Life starts for man at 35. We know nothing at 35.
No.
And also, again, at 17, I had everything. At 54, I had nothing. It can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And yes, I can blame all the advisors and agents. Ultimately, it was my wrong decisions. So I wanted to correct it, and that's why I wanted to tell my side of the story.
Yeah, well, you were scared, weren't you, there? You were really scared. The noise, the screaming, the things happening over there.
It's a scary place. Whoever told you prison is a piece of cake is lying, especially HMP Wandsworth, which is one of the most dangerous prisons in the UK. And there's a daily, pretty much how it looks like. So there's a daily fight of survival because I was incarcerated with murderers, with pedophiles, with drug dealers, the worst kind of people, and me. So naturally, I felt scared shitless. It was really, really difficult until...
And you take it all very serious in prison. Your work in the library, your work in the gym, and you take it all very serious.
Well, you wanted to be busy. You wanted to get out of the cell. Otherwise, you're 22 hours inside. It drives you crazy. The only way they let you out is if you have work. So I picked up 2 jobs right away. In the first prison, I was a math teacher and an English teacher, a German and English teacher, and English doesn't make sense. And in the second prison, I was a gym teacher and a Stoic teacher, which is an old philosophy. And so I was able to stay busy, make 1 or 2 pounds a day. You heard me right, 1 or 2 pounds a day. Just to eat and buy my important things, and so it was a question of survival. And quickly through the work, you find friends, other inmates that are maybe not as dangerous. They help you a little bit out. And
you
so,
cried a lot there.
Huh?
You cried a lot.
I'm not the crying type. I had moments of despair. I had moments, especially the first couple of nights, when you're really scared. That tears are falling down your eyes because you question yourself, why? How did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? But then slowly you have to accept it. The most important thing is your situation. When in dire straits is you have to accept it. You can't look back because you can't change this. You have to live in the moment and hopefully plan for the future. So that was very important.
It was quite difficult, I think. It was quite humiliating, moeilijk woord, because you were stripped. You had to be shirts all over your body. How was it? You being a star and then being treated like that?
I thought that was actually funny because I was asking the wardens, what are you looking for? And strip shirt, naked, everything they look for, right?
Yeah.
And
they touch you everywhere.
They touch you everywhere, and they put their fingers God knows where. And you ask, what are you looking for? And they go, Mr. Becker, you'll be surprised what we'll find in there.
Yeah.
Nu wil Raymond ook gaan.
He says now that also happens if you go to a gay club. But what I wanted to know is...
He knows that.
I know that. Yeah. I can know that. Now, you're brutally honest in this book, and that's also the reason why it created a lot of headlines, of course. You're brutally honest today. I am assuming, but that's what I would like to know, that production companies are lined up with offers to make it into a movie, or not?
Look, first of all, what's the point of writing a memoir if you're not honest with it?
Yeah.
I could have let some of the stories out just to make me look better. What's the point? Yeah. I've already lost everything.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you need to be
honest. I might as well do it right. That's my type of personality anyway. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. I mean, if that is not a movie, I don't know what book is a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, the question is, though, who's going to play me?
Now, do you have any suggestions?
I'm happy for some
he's
ideas.
The younger version of you, I think.
Yeah. No. I give you an idea, because I thought about it, I was talking with my wife. So there's a very famous Irish-American actor called Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
You may have heard about him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he's born in Heidelberg.
But can he play tennis also?
He's half German, he's very fit. He's half German, he looks a bit like me with reddish short hair. And he's a character actor. You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking, he would be actually my favorite pick.
Yeah, well, if they're going to offer you any money for the movie rights, you can say my goal is that he plays me.
Well, for example, I've never met him, so I don't know. I mean, I know he speaks German. I know he has a bit of history. Let's see. But
sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And how was the reaction of the other inmates when you came in?
First of all, they didn't know I was Boris Becker, the tennis player. They honestly didn't know.
You didn't tell him?
I didn't tell him out of protection, because if they would have known that I'm a famous guy, they would have taken advantage of me with...
Is this the first time, the first prison or the second?
Both. They didn't know. They didn't know who I was. I was on television.
But how is that possible? Because everybody knows Boris Becker.
Not in HMP Wandsworth and not in HMP...
They were not tennis...
No, they don't care about that. It's a different world. Prison life as such is a completely different world. Prisoners, especially when you're a long-timer, you're in there for 10, 15 years, you're a different world. So some of my mates in there, they went in when there wasn't an iPhone yet.
Like Ike. He was a friend of...
Ike.
He saved your life, eh?
He saved my life, so he was in there for 12 and a half years. So he's never had an iPhone in his life. Now we're talking about iPhone 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Imagine the mindset. So they didn't care that I was a tennis player. They thought I was in the news, I got into trouble, and that was enough for them. For them, I was a number. I was E2923AV.
Yeah.
And this is
you will never forget
how the wardens also...
They were afraid you were taking your life by any time, eh? Because you had shaved yourself, but you didn't do that well, because you had a lot of scars on your face. And then they asked you, is it okay with you?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of self-harm in prison.
Yeah.
Because especially with the young offenders, they can't take the solitude. They can't take the 22 hours inside. So what do you do when you're 25 years old, you're used to social media, your iPhones, your internet, everything. All of a sudden, you have to deal with your own emotions. They can't deal with it. So they start self-harming, which is a normal thing, up until they try to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Because they
Boris,
cannot take it.
And what are... people who know you of friends, Jürgen Klopp and players, football players from Germany, they wanted to come to prison, but you didn't want that.
Well, there were not many, because in a situation like this, you lose all your friends you thought you had.
Yeah.
All of them were gone. There was one famous football manager called Jürgen Klopp.
Yeah.
He wanted to come, and he really tried everything. And then I talked to the director of my prison, and he said, for security reasons, we can't allow you because he's too popular. And when your family or friends visit you, you're in the visiting hall, you and 16 other inmates, and they're dangerous. So if they would recognize Jürgen Klopp, they might take him and hold him for ransom.
You only wanted your wife to visit you.
Ultimately, I only wanted her and my two oldest boys, Noah and Elias, so they came a couple of times. I didn't want my...
friends?
I had a couple of friends in Munich. I had about, I'd say, maybe 6 other people, because I was in misery. What are you going to tell them?
Yeah.
That I'm great? No, I wasn't great. So I didn't want to BS anybody. And ultimately, in a moments like this, you realize you just have a handful of friends you actually care about.
How do you feel right now?
Knock on wood. It's the best I've felt in probably 20 years. Yeah, it's been an unbelievable journey from the Mount Everest to the gutter, and now coming back. Thankfully to my wife and what we were able to build up together. It was quite a journey from 2.5 years to now. Yeah.
And writing this book, you can end a period. Like, this is gone now forever, and you're going to look forward.
Look, it was also therapeutic to meet someone, to listen to you for a year. My ghostwriter, Tom Forsyth, he was amazing. So you get it out of your system, right? You want to be honest, you want to talk about it. It took about 15 months to make it. But once you've done it, and once the promotion is over, I'm going to leave this in the past.
Yeah. It's really an honest book.
Ik heb nooit begrepen waarom die Tyriak, die hij in principe groot gemaakt heeft, niet gewoon al die schulden voor zijn rekening genomen.
Yeah. Do you understand what he's saying? Or because he said Ion Tyriak could have paid your debts because you made him great?
Look, you're right. It's a long discussion. Jan is a great friend of mine. I'm not going to say anything negative. But
toen hij nog niet bij hem was, kende niemand
Nobody knew him before he worked with you. And afterwards, he's become a millionaire.
No, a billionaire.
Billionaire, sorry.
Yeah.
Millionaire.
So he made
Dutch.
his first big money, obviously managing young Boris Becker as a Wimbledon champion. He got into the German market, and he's a very smart businessman.
Yeah.
And so I benefited from him, and he definitely benefited from me. But I'm not the type of guy that afterwards would ask my friends for help. It's not in me. I'd rather suffer a little bit.
But you shouldn't have asked, but maybe you should have offered.
Ja, wat zeg je?
Hij had het moeten aanbieden.
Ja, maar ik kan werkelijk niet begrijpen als je iemand zo groot maakt... dat hij niet zegt, weet je, kom op, die zijn voor mij.
Ja.
Niet?
Ja. Ja, maar hij zegt,
You
dus ik ga er niet
know
op.
who your real friends are now.
I consider him a friend. Don't get me wrong, but you know, there's things that happen in a relationship that only the two of us know. Now I left him. You know, he didn't leave me, so maybe he took it personally. But again, Jan's a great guy. I'm friends with the family, and you know, nothing bad about him. But you're right. I had some, you know, other very wealthy friends that could have helped me, and they didn't. But okay, fine. Yeah.
So now,
look, all these things happen for a reason. I'm 58 next month. I'm much better now at 58 than I was at 38. Trust me. So maybe I had to go through all that bullshit to skin off, you know, shed off my layers.
You blame yourself, by the way. You blame yourself for it.
I blame myself.
Het waren over het algemeen, het waren vrij kleine vergrijpen. Hè?
Ja.
Het was alimentatie overmaken naar zijn kinderen. Het was een huis achterover van zijn moeder. Het waren kleine vergrijpen.
Het is een optelsom.
Ja.
Well, the amount of money, I was, you know, caught. I wasn't caught. I didn't pay back the bank. 3.5 million. Now that's a lot of money, but it's not 40 million or it's not 100 million. So 3.5 million was the reason I was incarcerated.
Yes.
So now there will become a movie of this book. Yeah?
Let's see.
Do you need the title song, by the way? Because you can use the Koekoek song if you want. Yeah, if you want to, you can use the Koekoek
soundtrack.
song. Like the soundtrack. Look, there it is.
Het is de hoogste tijd. Koekoek. Puntje maar niet kwijt. Ja, je kan wel blijven zeuren. En is toch allemaal niet.
You like it? We can talk about after the show.
You give me an
And now
idea.
you stay in Milan. No, you stay in Milan now.
I live in Italy. My wife's Italian. I learned very late what my mother always told me was a happy wife and a happy life.
Yeah.
I didn't get the memo until I was in my 50s, so I'm listening to her now.
Yeah. It was
bless her.
great having you here, Boris.
Thank you.
I hope you have a good life after this.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Boris Becker. You can leave now. You can also stay if you can.
I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes. How you doing? And then slowly.
He's doing nothing, so you can wait till tomorrow.